Hi and welcome back to the Nightly Show. I'm Ken O'Flynn and we're now with my favourite part of the show, and it is of course my wonderful guest Gary O'Donovan. Welcome back.
Right, glad to be here, Ken.
Delighted to have you back on the show, and you have some very interesting choices for us to. I have to tell you something. We had a viewer that I met during the week, and she said I went into O'Donovan's and I bought the prosecco that you brought, and she said tell Gary O'Donovan he's a liar. Because there's only 3 glasses in the bottle.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
but actually, no, it was a great uptake on that.
It was, yeah.
And the French one was an amazing,
fantastic,
was an amazing one.
So
you have 2 offers again this month.
Yeah, we're up in the ante again tonight, Ken. We're really going up another.
You're doing a Malbec.
We're doing a Malbec from Argentina and a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc more specifically. I suppose. Yeah.
So I suppose Sauvignon Blanc is something that we're all very experienced now with, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly.
We're okay to start in the white?
Absolutely, let's do it. I mean, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc has been a revelation the last 10-15 years in this market. And
everybody seems to be the house wine. Everybody knows Sauvignon Blanc, what to expect, what the taste is going to be.
It delivers on all these expectations regularly, and that's why people love it. Some people don't like the tropical, the chunky fruit that comes with New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc and prefer a more austere French style, but the New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc is still very
I really like it. You know, if you want something chilled, cold, that takes the drought away.
And
a Sauvignon Blanc is the way to go.
And the fruit is very pure, you know. And what I find with New Zealand Sauv, which is 85% of their exports, by the way, as well.
Really?
So really is a specialist grape variety. Is just wave after wave of fruit on the palate, you know. And you pick it up in the aromatics, and then the citrus and the lemon, the tropical, and it just goes on and on.
It's the kind of passion fruit smell.
That's really, it, yeah. And you know, this is what lasts, and then leading to a long finish. And this wine tonight is kind of representative of that style, you know.
So what are we drinking here?
This is called Mount Ara. It's a Marlborough Sauv Blanc. It's from a company called Gießen. 2 brothers run this company in Marlborough, and this is a vineyard that they have, and it's named after the vantage point above the vineyard in the Wairau Valley in Marlborough, Mount Ara. And this is brought into Ireland by a company called Robb Brothers Wines, and it's on offer.
That's very pungent.
It's really on the nose. You're getting it straight away. You're getting the gooseberry and all that, as a bit of nettle as well. But you're getting just a lovely kind of aromatic sensation there that's lining up the palate beautifully, you know, to what to expect. But it's currently on offer with O'Donovan's at $12.95, reduced from 20 quid. And it's 2014 is the vintage, and I think the alcohol is about 12.5%. So there's a good €7 discount.
Yeah, 12.5%. And what are you selling it for?
$12.95
for this month.
Yes, So it's a genuine €7 off, Ken. You know, so
that's all right.
And what you're getting with this price, so you normally don't get Marlborough fruit, you know, which is more refined, has more flintiness to it, has more minerality to it.
You go to some of the supermarkets and there's a bottle of Blanc.
Sometimes, yeah.
And it's €7 or €8, €9, whatever.
Yeah.
Probably about €9 now, really. I suppose,
okay.
What's the difference between the fruit?
You're probably not going to get Marlborough fruit. It'll be labelled kind of New Zealand fruit, you know, and won't be as kind of elegant, as kind of evasive and kind of flowing as the acidity and fruit is in this Mount Ara, which is a premium vineyard one, you know.
Okay. So, okay. We're going to try this.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Great life.
Straight away,
that's different, isn't it?
Yeah, straight away it's defined by the acidity, you know. The acidity really cleans your palate and sets up the fruit to come, you know.
It is, but the kind of strange thing about that, it's not as aggressive. You know how sometimes you get the Sauvignon Blanc and it kind of it's like it's fruit and alcohol.
Yeah, it's younger Sauvignon Blanc can suffer from that sometimes. That really kind of attacks the acidity end of things. But this is kind of 2014, so it's matured in bottle a little bit, and it's showing very well now. And we're getting it at the prime time to be drinking it. Really,
and you are kind of getting the gooseberry kind of
feel of
it,
and yet the tropical background as well. And again, just the flows of fruit. It's just wave after wave. And then a long, lingering finish as well, and just people love this style, particularly when they're getting at a price such as this, you know.
Yeah, I suppose if I were going to describe it, it's far more refined, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and that's down to Marlborough fruit, the stony soil, the vineyard itself, and most importantly, then the winemaking that goes into it. It's very, temperature controlled. It's done very well. White winemaking can be very dangerous if you let the temperature go up a little too far or whatever. You can burn off all the fruit and the floral stuff. But this has been made perfectly.
I was at a talk about New Zealand a couple of years ago, and this lady, fantastic lady, described it as it's so warm during the day.
Yeah.
That's why you get all that great juice and heat,
Yeah,
heat.
the
and
sun.
then because it gets so cold at night,
Yes.
it's like putting everything into the fridge.
It does, yeah, exactly. It cools
And that-
everything down
yeah,
and
that's
protects
what
the grapes.
That's what
yeah.
makes it so special.
Yeah,
That's
you
what-
know, I often describe New Zealand in my classes as Ireland with a summer, you know. They get kind of 5 months of a summer where you can literally chuck away your coat and the sun comes out and it stays out for 5 months, you know. And that they get, yet they have coolness at night time. So it's cool climate growing,
It's
but good
producing
heat
a
during the
really
day.
nice wine, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And this is Marlborough is the region not at the top of the South Island that put New Zealand on the map really with Cloudy Bay back in the day. And this is just another
Yeah.
example now of
Okay.
good New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc at a good
Right.
price.
13, what'd you say, €13, is it?
12.95, yeah. Would normally retail at 20, yeah, 19.95.
That's
yeah.
that's a nice bottle, and that's a lovely
Yeah.
bottle to come to somebody's house with. as well,
It would
isn't
be. It
In
surely would
fairness.
be. You know, and it's particularly if you're having food as well. This
Yeah.
would go up another
That's what I
notch.
was going to say. Chicken,
Seafood,
fish.
shellfish, absolutely gorgeous, and the
good
acidity
with shellfish,
will
yeah.
cut through
Yeah.
sauces as well. Any aggressive sausage that it might throw in, but
So even if we were serving a Beurre Blanc,
yeah. Oh, listen,
Does it cut through it? Yeah.
absolutely, and you know, it goes by itself
very nice.
or with food. There's no doubt it would go up another level. So
this is very nice.
yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed
Very
it. I think
nice.
it's
I really like
it's
that.
great for
I
the
really like that.
viewers out
I
there.
know. You know what? The problem with this show is that when Gary comes on, I always say, "I really like that. I really like that." Part of it has to do that I like wine.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
You bring in some very, very nice wines.
Yeah, yeah,
You really
listen.
are bringing in some very nice wines, and I
My
have
pleasure.
to say, for 13 quid or 12.95,
Yeah,
that is worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
That is worth
done.
it.
I think
and
so
I'm not a white wine drinker.
yeah, yeah.
But I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
I like it, yeah, or as
Really
a
nice
starter
with some-
to a meal now, you're having a starter and a main course or whatever class of this New Zealand Sauv Blanc.
Are
It just-
people kind of
it
coming back
cleanses everything.
back into the shops again, and they're saying to you,
They are, and
We're going
you
to dinner
know
parties and-
they are, and it's you know there was a dearth of it there for years during the bust, I suppose. It's coming back, and people can realise now that you can buy a nice bottle from an independent special like yourselves without breaking the bank, and you're getting something special, and you're only spending 10, 12 quid.
And you know what?
You know?
That's the thing, because a lot of the time you go into the supermarket and we say, "Oh, it was only 8 quid," and you know what? For 2 quid more, or
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
4 quid more,
Yeah.
you get a really nice bottle of wine. You get a really special bottle of wine.
Bear in mind, the government is getting €4 off every bottle first, and then
Fantastic.
every euro you spend above that, you're getting more for the wine and less for the government. You know, so every euro above
Oh,
a five-
explain this now to me. So
Yeah.
every euro above,
say €5-6, you're
Uh-huh.
probably getting double the wine in quality, you know, as in the wine goes up, quality goes up exponentially then. So the more you spend above the 5, 6, 7, 8, you're heading towards 10 and up to 15 and beyond. You're paying more for the wine rather than just the duty that the government is charging here in Ireland,
that's a very
which is the
that's a
highest
fair
in the
point,
EU, by the
actually,
way.
yeah.
Which is the highest in the EU. You know, we're out on
Sure,
our own
it is.
really.
It's crazy. It's
So,
crazy, you know.
so,
the worst thing
yeah.
is when you go abroad and you see like something like Bailey's
Yeah.
for €13
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
supermarket.
yeah. So yeah, certainly, yeah, you can. This is under 15 quid, which is still a threshold, and it's
Very
stunning
nice.
wine at that.
It's
I'm
very
glad
nice,
you
and
enjoyed
it's
it.
very, very good value.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
We're moving on to Malbec, and Malbec has exploded onto the Irish market
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
last 3-4 years, really, hasn't it?
It really has,
Yeah.
and you know, Argentina was nearly the newer country that was going to break up the old world monopoly back in the 80s, beginning into the UK. But of course, you had the Falklands War, which put them back, and they had their own troubles with their currency and all that. They didn't take the bailout in Argentina. But you know something, they've always been making extremely good wines. This
A lot more people drinking Malbec now as
they
well,
are,
aren't
and
they?
you know, as I might have told you
They've moved
before,
away from the Shiraz. And
yeah,
moved away from
Malbec is now seen as a genuine red wine that you know satisfies demand. Great with food, great with cheese, great with most things you pair it with. And there's some extremely good versions out there. And I brought Luigi Bosca along tonight because of the Luigi Bosca label, and this is their Malbec, 14%, and I think for 2013, 12 months new oak is one of the best examples of seriously premium quality.
And Luigi
Malbec on the Irish
Bosca
market.
is a Mendoza wine.
Mendoza wine, yeah, the old vineyards.
I'm learning, aren't
yeah,
I?
You
I'm
are,
learning.
you are,
I'm
yeah,
learning.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Old
take this
vineyards,
course.
yeah. It's a company that's owned by the Orizzo family, who are kind of into fruit and veg and all that, but also wine. And Luigi Bosca was the original owner and the original label. And the Orizzo family have bought that many moons ago, and are continuing with what Luigi Bosca's philosophy of old vines, hand pressing, making sure the fruit is right, making sure the vineyards are right. The vines for this are 50, 60 years old.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so
Because
you're getting purity of fruit beyond.
I've been to South
compare.
America, and the one thing I've noticed is that you do see Luigi Bosca and all the good steakhouses.
You would in Buenos
Yeah.
Aires or in Mendoza, Luigi Bosca would feature very heavily up there.
Yeah.
When you 15 cuts of steak and all that, Luigi
Yeah.
Bosca is there.
Yeah.
So it's imported into Ireland by a Cork man, Michael Barry. Shout out to Michael.
The great Michael Barry.
Yeah. So well done to Mike. This is a stunning wine that I just wanted to show the viewers this evening. It's under 20 quid. It's 18.95. It ain't cheap, but it's not outrageous either. And
But you know, it's nice if you're having a romantic meal Saturday night, if you're cooking inside and you want to do something nice for,
yeah.
you know, a bottle of this
Yeah,
will go a long way.
And
won't
you
it?
know, the old example, kind of 6 glasses out of a bottle, 6 quid a glass you're paying when you think about it. You know,
Well, you know, you'll pay
perspective.
you'll pay that in town.
You'll pay
And
that.
you'll pay that for a bottle of
Yeah.
of whatever
And
in town.
a
you know?
house wine would be even sometimes above that, you know. So I think straight away you can. It's the fruit, it's the colour here on this. It's showing a little bit of age, a little browning coming into it on top
What
of the
year is
ruby.
this?
This is 2014, 2013. My apologies. But again, the vintage here takes place earlier in the year, you know, February, March, April in that year. So 6 months earlier than Europe. But certainly, 60-year-old vines and picked by hand, most of them.
So when you say 60-year-old vines, it's the same story as what we've seen in Chile, where the vines are brought over from France, or
Yeah, they would have been originally from the mainly Italian immigrants. You know, there's a huge Italian influence in Argentina. But in Argentina, more than most countries, they've held on to a lot of their older vines. They didn't panic and grub them up because it's seen that 30 years is the average age profile for a vine, and after that you grub them up and start again. The first 3 years are the forbidden fruit. But when you have vineyards like this, Finca La Linda, this comes from 60-year-old vines. The juice from the grapes is just incredible. From the root structure and all that, just really transmits up through the grapes. And then in the winemaking again, new oak, it's very expensive. It's €1,000 a barrel of 250 litres, but they invest heavily in that, and that gives the vanilla kind of aspect to it, and kind of also elongates the aging ability. You know, this is minimum 10 years. You could buy this and age this for. This wine will go on for 10, 20 years.
That's the question I have here, because I know a little bit about wine, a very, very little bit.
Yeah.
But when you ask a question like that, okay, I buy a bottle of wine and it's there for. It's in the cupboard for when it comes to buy house, it's in the cupboard for about half an hour. But how long can I keep it?
It depends on the wine. It's completely subjective. The two wines you have here, 2014 Marlborough Sauv Blanc, it should be consumed this year, 2017 and 18, maybe next year. And after that, the fruit will be dying off a bit. Luigi Bosca and this Malbec, this is from old vines. And red wine, because of the tannin, because the new oak and the vanillas and all that, you'll get secondary and tertiary flavours, and it'll go on for 10, 20 years.
So I can keep this in the cabinet for 20 years?
You could indeed, and it would improve and improve year after year. And it's for under 20 quid, it's incredible, you can do that. But it's very much about the wine and how the wine was made.
I always thought it was kind of in the 2-3 year sort of thing.
No, commercial styles, yes, but this will be beyond commercial. No, this will be premium.
So this will be regarded for under 20 quid.
I would say
1999.
1995, yeah.
And that's a premier wine.
I think it's pound for pound one of the best Argentinian Malbecs currently on the Irish market. That's for sure. I think the aromatics will set it up. You're getting vanilla, you're getting spice and pepper and all that, but you're getting dark cherries and blackcurrant, blackberries. But loads of layers of flavour, you know, and
that is lovely.
And really, it's all about the aromatics set it up, and you can see the alcohol, how the wine is sticking to the glass, to 14.5%, and then we put it in the palate.
That is a lovely wine. That's so rich.
Acidity's there, the tannins are gripping, so it's still quite young. But
that's it for tonight. I'm just going home. That is amazing.
But the finish and the layers of flavours are just coming at you, and it's dark.
But there's nothing aggressive about it. There's nothing
smooth as silk.
You know?
Again, if there's ever an example of old vines producing just stunning wine, this is a good example of it.
And you know what? I'll tell you outside. I'll tell you after the show what I regard as my favourite Malbec, and a friend gives me a case of it every Christmas. My God, Jesus,
this is up there, And
that's
as I
something
say,
else.
Anyone who's been to Argentina, they'd recognise this label and this name, and it's all about the age profile and the vines, how the wine is made. And of course we have the water coming down for irrigation from the snow-capped Andes on the other side of the Chilean winemaking segment. We're up at 3,000 metres high as well, we're at altitude, so it's cooler, so the grapes get a little bit of relief as well, and magic volcanic soils then. And
Like, there's a reason that's 20 quid now, in fairness, isn't
That's-
it?
yeah, it's
I
up
know
there.
20 quid sounds expensive for a bottle of wine because
Yeah.
it's gone so quick, but
Yeah.
God, that's a lovely
For quality, yeah. And of course, when new oak is involved, you're always going to be up at kind of 15, 20 quid an hour when the government's getting 4 quid again.
Yeah,
off
and
the
that's
start of it, you know.
that's a fair point. Okay,
Yeah.
we appreciate we're screwed on duties and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
screwed on
and
taxes
VAT, and VAT,
and
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's ridiculous when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that, like, for 20 quid.
I think it's out there, yeah.
That's probably one of the better wines I've drank
I
this
think,
year. I have
yeah,
to say.
that's why Argentina, I suppose, is
I love this job.
making a lot of making a lot of other wine producing countries a bit nervous because of the quality they can get at the price they can make it as well.
And yeah, for bringing this in, like, if you were to get something the equivalent of this from a French vineyard,
Yeah,
you are talking
You're
like
gonna-
something that kind of that taste, that caliber.
you'd be
you are
paying-
talking 50, 60
You'll
quid,
probably
aren't
be
you?
paying big money, there's no doubt, from places like Cahors, which is the original home of Malbec. But no, the Argentinians, particularly up in Mendoza, have made a real, it's their own grape variety. And the Irish climate we have is perfect for red wine drinking too. We mightn't have the sun
that's
for
true.
growing grapes, but this is perfect winter red wine, fireside, any bit of meat,
And
a steak,
but
etc.
that's,
as well.
you know, it's funny
lamb.
you should say that. Okay, it's something that you could easily sit by the fire
Yeah.
and drink.
Read a book and, you know, yeah, absolutely.
You
yeah,
know,
and just
it's
chill
like
out.
that, like the perfect day would be
Yeah.
sitting down and
Yeah,
drinking this,
yeah, yeah.
and you don't need the cheese, you don't need the meat.
No, you
I can
don't.
see it accompanying it
Yeah,
fantastically.
I think you'd be savouring this, Ken, wouldn't you? You'd really be sipping it and you'd be kind of
Yeah.
just savouring it, and you know, it's just
Yeah.
it's a remarkable wine from a remarkable winery, and one to make the
Extremely
viewers aware
impressive.
of, you know.
Really,
And,
really
under
impressive.
20 quid as well, which is
Yeah. So you're doing this under 20? No, but that's a special, is it?
18.95 would be an ongoing price for it. Really, it's under 20 quid, you know.
Wow.
And they do another wine, and it's funny priced, only €1 or 2 above it. It's a Malbec DOC Reserva, which is up another step again. If you want to spend another €2, I think you get another level of quality.
Well, we are kind of going into the season of we all get kind of invited to dinners and,
Yes.
and at this time of the year and there's
October around the corner and all
yeah,
that.
yeah, October, November is the dinner party
December,
kind of
yeah,
season,
it is,
isn't
it sure is.
And
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to friends' houses.
Yeah.
And even for Christmas,
Yep.
it's well worth, like, if somebody gave me that as a
Yeah.
present, hint to anyone that's
Yeah.
watching, I'd be very happy with them.
Yeah, you know, if people were thinking of the Christmas dinner and the Christmas plate, for example, and all the flavours that are on that, you would say, what wine would go through, you know, would complement this? It's very hard to get a wine that would, but the likes of this Luigi Bosca Malbec would have a good cut off it, I tell you, and would complement
that.
any given Christmas dinner. And to start off with maybe a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc to be a fine pair, you know, for
See, I
Christmas.
was really
you know.
impressed with this,
To recommend
when we
to
started. I was really impressed, and I think if you're a white wine drinker, you'll
Yeah,
love
yeah.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
You will love this, but this blows it away.
Yeah.
You
that-
know?
I
No,
think-
I'm a red wine drinker
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
And this is lovely. This is a lovely white. But my God, this blows it away. This
Yeah.
is just.
It's
You
good,
surpassed yourself this month.
Well, there you go. And listen, I'm setting the bar high now, so we're going to have to keep
You
it
are.
up,
I
that's
don't
for
know.
sure,
What,
yeah,
you know, I hope I get you down again next month.
yeah. But the surroundings and all the playing and, you know, moving.
Well,
and,
we're actually coming to you tonight from Gary's Jet.
Yeah.
I just
The
want
wine-
to say,
the wine express.
the wine business has
Yeah.
been doing really well for him.
Yeah.
You know, off to Australia.
Yeah, off to Australia now, the end of the week, yeah. So we're travelling over the weekend,
You're touring the vineyards and doing
Yeah,
the,
about 2 weeks intensely, about 30, 40 wineries, and all the new winemakers, the new grape varieties, the new styles, and going up with Wine Australia, and
tell
hoping
me,
to bring all that knowledge
like,
back and info back.
When it comes to O'Donovan's, Gary,
Yeah.
you buy the wine directly from the vineyards yourself.
We do a
quite
mixture of
often.
that, we do, and we
Yeah.
try and support Irish importers as well. I think that's important.
Okay, so like for instance,
yeah.
it's coming from Barry Fitzwilliam, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Barry
so
from
Michael,
Cork.
absolutely, yeah,
But
yeah.
quite often you're buying directly from the
Yeah,
vineyard.
yeah, where it's
Where it's
necessary,
possible.
yeah, and probably did a lot more before, as did a lot of other people. But yeah, when there's certain parcels then that you wanted exclusive and are a bit special, sometimes you have to go
And
and do it
affordable as
yourself.
well, because you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to go and import it yourself.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But so that's for sure. But we like to support Irish importers as well, and as well as the other bits and pieces. And the trip to Australia is all about meeting new people,
And what's-
making new
and what's
contacts,
new and
and they'll
what's
be
coming up
these
as well.
Aussie guys and girls will be looking to do business and with an eye to wines being brought into Ireland and the UK. On the back of the trip, there's no doubt.
Yeah,
so I'm
of
looking
course.
forward to it. Good bit of travel, but listen,
course.
immersing in it, and we'll be speeding up. By the way, we won't be drinking all the time. We'll be drinking a little bit at dinner time. And
If you brought me on the tour, there'd be a
but we'll be
difference.
speeding out. Yeah.
You'd be carrying me around.
and we probably go. You know, we might go through somewhere between 500 plus wines as well over the course of the
Yeah,
trip.
so you have to spit out.
Absolutely.
There's no-
After
you get sick of it,
the
yeah.
industry wisdom is after 3 or 4 wines, you get relaxed and your taste buds get confused. So, but you're amazing what you can do now with smelling and spitting out. You get all the bits and pieces you're looking for.
And of course, that's the scent has.
Oh, yeah,
tremendous
and the
flavour as well.
aromas now are
Yeah.
it's widely agreed everywhere globally. The aromas set up the palate. So get sniffing everyone out there, because that's how you
And it is
really
true.
enjoy
It
the
is
wine.
true,
And it's not
yeah.
so much a snobbish
Yeah.
thing anymore.
No,
it
no,
really
it's
is
not.
setting up the palate.
Yeah,
You know, so.
it's not. I really love this, and I think
Yeah,
for under 20 quid, that is an amazing wine.
Thank you. I'm
An
delighted with it.
amazing
Yeah,
wine.
well done, Michael.
Well done you
Michael
for
Berry,
well
yeah.
done well done you for selecting it for tonight.
No, that's all
Can I
right.
ask you a question, Gary?
Yeah.
We go into O'Donovan's,
Yeah.
and you know, like, and I say it all the time. Your staff are trained.
Very
They
good.
tell us what to buy,
Hope
where
so,
to buy
yeah,
it, and the
yeah.
whole lot. If I'm walking into a restaurant, or if I'm walking into a restaurant and I want to identify things on a menu,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I don't know an awful lot about wine, what are the key questions I should be asking?
The key questions is, I suppose, have a look at the price anyway, first
Yeah.
and foremost. And there's normally in good restaurants, there's a wine sommelier there, or someone who has responsibility for the wine list that you can call over and get good advice from, you know. But very often it's what you're going to eat, you're going to match with the wines. That's very important, to get the matching right weight with weight and like with like and all that. And then it's a matter of literally, talking through what their house wine might be, into their varietals and etc. And again, in restaurants, it's good to trying to get people up €30 and upwards, and particularly having with food.
That's
nice
what you're
glassware.
needing to spend for a good.
Well,
if you're going to have a good
house
bottle of
wine
wine in a
now I
restaurant.
think it's crept up to 25, 26 quid, hasn't it? And
My big problem with
Yeah.
house wines in this country is that they're picking crap,
all right.
and
okay.
and that's my real feeling on it.
Okay.
And that a lot of people are picking really, really crap wines and serving it as their house wine, and
Yeah.
I think they're overpriced. They're
Okay.
overpriced,
Okay.
and I think actually your house wine should be representing your house, so it should be a good quality.
Yeah.
And there's very few good restaurants doing that,
Yeah.
or very few restaurants doing that anymore.
Yeah, so-
some people are,
Yeah.
but I think you have to be careful
So
with
I
your house wine.
suppose if you're
That's
not
my
happy with the
thought.
house wine, you maybe just
You know?
look at the list above it and whatever, and you don't have to break the bank. There's some great wines out there in restaurant wine lists that are 25, 30, 40 quid or whatever, and you're going out for a meal. It's a special night out. It's good to probably go that extra.
And I'm going to do a small bit of promotion for you. If you're doing it in a supermarket, guys, you just don't get the response. You don't know what you're buying. And I'm the same. I know a little bit about wine. Go into a place like Gary O'Donovan's. How many shops do you have?
We've
in?
8 stores, yeah.
8 stores.
yeah, all around city and county, yeah.
Every one of the staff, whether it's up in I know I go to Summerhill quite a lot, but whether it's up in Summerhill or one of the other shops, somebody inside there, nearly 90% of the staff, I would imagine,
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
stage,
trained,
have
yeah.
a good knowledge of wine. It's not going to cost you the earth.
And knowledge is
your-
free. Advice
and
is
knowledge
free.
is free. The advice is free,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's kind of like saying, well, actually, this is the kind of taste I like.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
the
for
challenge for us.
and
like.
for somebody then to
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
your taste is, where you're going. I love this. If anyone is buying me a present, Michael, hint hint. If anyone is buying me a present for presenting on their show, I would love a bottle of this.
Luigi Vasco
This
Malbec,
is very, very
Yeah,
nice.
well done. Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Well done.
Well done. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks,
I
Kev.
really appreciate
Thank
you coming in with some great wines.
you.
Get out there and go and support a local man, and go and support local shops, and go out there and look after our own. Thanks very much.